Maybe it would simplify the gender and pronouns discussion to remind people that when someone tells you their pronouns, they are telling you something about themselves that you could not possibly have known. Because this is something that you ask when you first meet a person, right? It's like asking their name or their nicknames or what they like to be called in general. And let me be charitable and say I understand why people don't get the difference between sex and gender because they were never really taught it properly. So a lot of people when we say gender, they think we mean sex and whatever. So okay, I kind of get that a little bit. But when people push back against you on using your correct pronouns, ask them if they're interested in having a relationship with you. Ask them if they're interested in knowing you. And if they are, it's not optional. Because it's not about what they think about, whatever you have in your undercarriage. It's about, do they respect you enough as a human being to refer to you and to discuss you as you would like to be discussed. Also, me telling someone, for example, that I use they, them pronouns primarily, or especially with people who I know and who, I actually care what they think. Me sharing that with you is me letting you know that I don't identify with the gender that I was assigned at birth. Regardless of what is going on in my undercarriage, the way that I feel, the way that I am on the inside, the way that I move through the world, and the way that I am just in relation to other humans is different than what I was assigned at birth. And the assumptions and the stereotypes and the expectations. It's also saying that I don't believe in those expectations and that I'm working to unlearn them and to deconstruct them. This is information. This is something that is true. You can't disagree with whether or not that is true for me. And furthermore, if you do disagree, then you're just telling me that you're not interested in me as a human, and jog on, sweetheart. Another thing I've heard is that people who are non-binary, people will be like, oh yes, these people think they're special and whatever. And it's like, well, first of all, do you not? I'm sorry, that's sad. But also, it's that we are people who have done a lot of thinking about and a lot of working on who we are as people and the deconstruction of gender and all of the expectations that go with it. So this is something that we should always be willing to examine. And the people that have examined it are further along in their healing process from all of the other structures that make our lives worse. I sometimes say jokingly that I don't believe that anyone is cis. I don't believe in cis people, and I'm mostly joking. Maybe I'm not mostly joking, but seriously, everybody should do a deconstruction of how they feel and how they feel about the expectations that have been placed on them for their gender by society in a world that you just get put here, right? You didn't get to decide on all the things that are expected of you. So I don't think that you should take all of them on, especially if they don't help you, if they don't make you feel good about yourself. Now, you should be aware of them, right? And how other people will think of you, because that's always a thing. But you shouldn't just accept everything that's been handed to you. Gender is complicated, but it's really not that complicated. It's me telling you who I am. If you're willing to listen and you want to be a part of my life, you should take that information.